Yeah, I got to pull my drawers up before I start. See if I can get some movement into this cranky, creaky body of mine. It's been a day. Not much more than that. You hear my goats out there screaming at me. I don't know what that's about. Huh. Maybe one of them is supposedly maybe sort of kind of pregnant. And no, I don't plan on doing goat yoga. But I do enjoy having them around. They're silly. I haven't mowed the lawn yet this year. And I ain't saying it looks good, but it's not knee deep. You know, the goats get to go hang out there. They eat some grass. Well, I say grass. There is grass out there, but it's mostly clover and a little bit of alfalfa and then some fescue. And the all-invasive thistle plants that really like my backyard a lot. And they're absolutely beautiful, but they can get thick. And surprisingly, the goats eat them once in a while. Well, anyway, so getting ready here for regular Monday night practice, trauma recovery yoga. I'm seeing one of my internet connections is being a little goofy, but that's what it is. Uh-oh, maybe I better check that. Well, we'll see if that works. So I'm going to get ready to practice here. And so, for anybody that's new to trauma recovery yoga, this is a practice that's based in choice. It's meant to minimize trigger points. It's meant to help establish new practices, new habits, not take and correct old habits. We focus on trying to create new ones. And we'll talk about that as we go along. I don't shut up during the whole practice. That's part of it. It's to help keep our minds focused on what we're doing here this evening while we move through a gentle practice that's a mindful movement of our body, connecting our mind and our body together. So, as I say that, we'll begin practice. We start like we always start, by coming to an easy seated position, whatever seated position works for you. And truthfully, if you choose to just sit on your mat and do yoga, sit on your mat and do yoga. Well, of course you're doing yoga then. If you choose to just sit on your mat and breathe, you too are doing yoga. That what it's all about is we're looking to take and bring our focus from out here to in here. We're looking to take and move inward. And we do that by a series of practices, a series of moves. Nothing magical. It's just helping us focus the mind on the inner instead of the outer. So we're in an easy seated position. We begin this practice like we begin with all trauma recovery yoga practices, with self-regulation. Self-regulation is the key to gaining choice or building choice back into our lives. So we begin by grounding, literally feeling the earth beneath our sit bones, beneath the sides of our feet, feeling that stability, maybe even putting the hand down on the mat and feeling that support, and then realizing that that support is always right there waiting for you. Always, always. The next piece is centering, and that's the beginning of moving outward to inward. And we do that by lifting the pelvic floor, just like you're trying to restrict the flow of urine. I know you can't see me doing it, but I'm lifting up, pulling that in like I'm trying to stop myself in mid-pee. Next, we pull the belly button in towards the spine, pulling that belly button in and feeling the heat begin to build in our gut, and noticing that all of a sudden, all of our awareness and all of our focus has moved right here to the center, to our core. And we're stoking that internal furnace that we'll use during our practice. The next final piece of self-regulation is becoming aware of the breath. Noticing, am I breathing in or am I breathing out? Maybe even telling yourself, I'm breathing in, I'm breathing out. Feeling that air flowing in and flowing out. Feeling how that air makes your nostrils cool. Feeling that cool air flowing back down the back of your throat. Feeling the warm air coming back out. Now we're going to move on to a 3-part yogic breathing or belly breath. Literally reminding ourselves how to breathe. We're going to take in, release that bind in our belly, and we're going to start inflating our whole body from the bottom up. So we start by extending the belly, big belly, filling it up with air, continuing to inhale, the lungs inflate, the shoulders rise. And that last little bit of air flows in and makes the eyes cool and sparkle. And then we exhale from the top down in the reverse order. The chin softens, the shoulders come down, the belly comes in. Inhale, big belly. Shoulders lift, ribs separate, eyes cool and sparkle. And as we exhale, the chin comes down, shoulders soften, belly comes in. Inhale, big belly. Shoulders lift, eyes cool and sparkle. And this time as we exhale, the chin comes down, the shoulders soften, the belly comes, and we allow the breathing to fall back into its natural rhythm. But still noticing, am I breathing in? I'm breathing out. Just following that breath as the air flows in and the air flows out. And now we're going to begin to link movement to that breath. So on our next inhale, we're going to take and bring the right ear to the right shoulder. Focusing on bringing the ear to the shoulder, not the shoulder to the ear. Thinking about keeping that shoulder blade plugged into its socket. And then on the next exhale, allowing the chin to come back down towards the chest. And then inhaling, bringing the left ear to the left shoulder. Feeling that stretch across the top of the right neck. Noticing that shoulder blade still plugged in. before on the next exhale, allowing that chin to come back down to the chest and getting ready to move into some neck circles. Again, linked with the breath. So we're going to inhale to the right and back, exhale to the left and down. Inhale to the right as we extend, exhale to the left as we contract. Inhale to the right and extend, exhale to the left and contract. One more time around, inhaling to the right and back, exhaling to the left and down. And now, to keep ourselves balanced, we're going to reverse that rotation. And so this time, when we inhale, we're going to inhale to the left and back, exhale to the right and down. Inhale to the left and back, exhale to the right and down. Inhaling to the left as we extend, exhaling to the right as we contract. And one more time around, inhaling to the left and back, exhaling to the right and down. Then as we come up and straighten our spine, bringing our gaze forward, keeping our chin slightly tucked, our head in a neutral position stacked on top of our shoulders. I want you to bring your right arm, your right hand up, palm open, facing the front, elbow at approximately a right angle, and then shift the gaze and the palm towards each other. And wiggle those fingers, blink the eyes, open those eyes wide, allowing light to flood in and stimulate the happy center in your brain. Then shift the gaze over to the left, bringing the left hand down to the mat and watching that hand walk slowly away before shifting the gaze back forward. Inhale, extend that arm up towards the ceiling. Exhale, come across the top, feeling the stretch on the right, the compression on the left. Then inhale, come back up. Exhale, bring the hands back down to your knees. Hello, serene. Then we're going to take and bring the other hand up, bringing the left hand up, elbow at about a 90-degree angle, that shoulder blade still plugged in, fingers spread, shifting the gaze towards the palm, blinking the eyes again, opening them wide, wiggling the fingers, letting the light flood in and stimulate that happy in the brain. Gaze down to the right, placing the right hand on the mat, and watching that hand slowly walk a little bit away, shifting the gaze back to the front. Inhale, extend that hand up towards the ceiling. Exhale, come over the top, feeling again that stretch on the opposite side on the left and the compression on the right. Then we inhale, come back up. Exhale, bring the hands back down to the knees. Next, we're going to begin to move a little bit more vigorously, inhaling, bringing the hands up overhead, interlacing the three farthest fingers, keeping the index fingers pointed up like the pointer hand on a clock. And we're going to inhale, reaching up with our gaze still forward. Exhale, come over 1, 2 numbers on your personal clock. Inhale, extend. Exhale, come down just a little bit more. Inhale, back up to center. Exhale, come 1, 2 numbers the other way on your personal clock. Inhale, extend. Exhale, come down a little bit. Inhale, come back up. And then we're going to shift our gaze up into that cup formed in our hands. And this time as we inhale, we're going to strive and reach and extend those hands up towards the ceiling, feeling our biceps brushing our ears before finally releasing the hands, opening the arms and the heart up, and feeling the weight of the world begin to lift off of our shoulders. We're going to take, and then as we inhale, bringing the left hand to the right knee, right hand behind the right hip. And this time we're going to, as we inhale, sitting up, we're going to twist with the torso only, trying to twist at the base of the rib cage to the right. Inhale, sit up straight, and then look back over that right shoulder, and using that front arm, pull yourself around just a little bit more to begin stretching out those tendons that run up and down your back. And as we inhale, we're going to unwind and bring the right hand to the left knee, left hand behind the hip, doing the same thing on the other side. Inhale, sitting up straight. Exhale, twisting with the torso to the left. Inhale, sit up. Shift the gaze back over that back shoulder. Using that front arm, pull yourself around just a little bit more to continue to stretch out those tendons. We inhale, coming back. And yes, Serene, I don't know if you can hear it, but Brownie's out there raising a ruckus. I don't know if maybe she might be, she's getting kind of fat. But anyway, back to practice. Sorry about that squirrel that just ran through my brain. Now we're going to move into tabletop. We do that by bringing the hands underneath the shoulders, fingers spread wide, knees underneath the hips, top of the feet flat down on the mat, feeling our head pulled to the far side of the room, flattening our back, and then exhale as we look back over the right shoulder at the right pinky toe. Inhale back to center. Exhale, look back over the other shoulder to the left pinky toe. Inhale back to center. Exhale, look back at that right pinky toe one more time. Inhale back to center. And exhale, look over that left shoulder. Inhale, coming back to center. Now we're going to begin trying to loosen up some of our hamstrings a little bit. We do that by extending the left leg back, tucking the toes, bouncing just a little bit, begin to stretch out those Achilles and that hamstring, shifting the weight into the left hand, extending the right hand out, pulling the belly button in, and lifting that back leg up, and noticing that tremble, noticing those little shakes. Exhale, come back down to tabletop. We're going to do the same thing on the other side. Extending the right leg out, tucking the toes, bouncing just a little bit to begin to stretch out those tendons. Shifting the weight into the right hand, extending the left hand out, pulling the belly button in to engage the core and bringing that back leg up one more time. Feeling the tremble, feeling the shake. Exhale, bring it back down. Now we're going to move into our first down dog of the night. Tucking the toes, bring the heels back, the sit bones back towards the heels. Sorry, I'm a bit distracted listening to Brownie out there sing and sing and sing. Then the way I think of doing this is unfolding my legs to push my sit bones up towards the ceiling into downward dog. So I unfold, pushing back, knowing that my knees are probably, well, they are bent quite a lot. My heels are nowhere near the mat and probably won't be. But the important part is that my head is down below the level of my heart, giving our heart a little bit of a rest from having to push all of that blood up into our brain all the time. Now we're going to take an inhale, look forward, and walk slowly, slowly, slowly to the front of the mat. Rise halfway up, flat back, lower down into forward fold. Bring the hands up to the crease in the hips. Straighten the legs, keeping the head tucked forward and the shoulders rolled forward. Begin a slow inhale as we slowly stack one vertebrae on top of the other. Slowly, 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 before when we reach the top, rolling the shoulders up and back, opening the eyes, Bring the head up in feeling some of that baggage we've been piling on our shoulders, feeling it just slide off. Inhale, bring the hands up overhead. Exhale, forward fold, lead with the heart. Inhale, halfway up. Exhale, plant the hands, step back, high plank, lower down, low push up, turn the feet over, pushing up into upward dog, tucking the toes, pushing back into downward dog. And now when we're in this resting position for our heart, man, I can't hardly get words out tonight. We begin that internal conversation. Sometimes I like to think of it as practicing for that most important conversation of the day, the one we have with the most important person in our life, that person looking back at us in that bathroom mirror when we're brushing our teeth every morning. Beginning that conversation with those two words, I am going to do amazing stuff today. I am damn handsome. I am happy to be alive. We inhale, bring the right leg up. Exhale, swing it forward between the hands. It's okay to use whatever you got to do to get there. Turn the back foot across the back of the mat, rising up into warrior two. Shoulders over the hips, front knee slightly bent, back foot across the back of the mat, arms out, gaze out over that front arm. We're going to reverse our warrior by turning that front hand over and tilting ourselves back, extending that hand up towards the ceiling, running that back hand down the back side of the back leg, feeling it begin to stretch out and loosen those tendons in the inside of that back leg. Inhale, back up into warrior two. Now we're going to straighten out that front leg, tip the pelvis back, and now we're going to allow ourselves to fall over the front leg by bringing that back arm up towards the ceiling, opening the heart to the far side of the room, running that front hand down the inside of the front leg, feeling those tendons begin to loosen up in the front leg. Inhale, back up to warrior two. Exhale, windmill the hands down, stepping back and pushing right back up into downward dog. Continuing that, practicing that positivity, that conversation with yourself. I am going to have the freshest breath in town as soon as I brush my teeth. I am going to do amazing things today. I am worthy. Inhale, bring the left leg up. Exhale, swing it forward between the hands. Again, this isn't a dance competition. Grace and poise is not my strong suit. Bring that back foot across the back of the mat, back leg straight, front knee over the front ankle, coming up into warrior two on the other side. Gaze out over that front hand, turn the front hand over and reach it up towards the sky. Running that back hand down that back leg, feeling it stretching out those tendons even just a little bit more. Inhale, coming back up, straightening the front leg, tipping the pelvis back, and allowing yourself to fall over that front leg, feeling your heart opening to the other side of the room and feeling those stretches releasing the tension in those inner thighs. Inhale, back up to warrior two. Windmill the hands down. Step back, pushing right back into downward dog. I am a good person. I am valuable. I am strong. Inhale, look forward, hop walker, jump to the front of the mat. Inhale, halfway up. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, sweep it all up overhead. Exhale, bring it down to heart center. Inhale, bring the hands up overhead. Exhale, forward fold, lead with the heart. Inhale, halfway up. Exhale, plant the hands, step back, high plank, lower down, low push-up. Turn the feet over, pushing up into upward dog, tucking the toes, pushing back into downward dog. I am grateful. I am becoming more flexible, both in my body and in my mind. I am resilient. Inhale, bring the right leg up. Exhale, swing it forward, dropping down into a low lunge. Knowing it's always okay to come into a kneeling position, or even bring the sit bones back towards the heels to take the pressure off of the knees, coming into a hero's pose. Shoulders squared up, chin slightly tucked. Extend the hands up overhead. And as we shift our gaze up, we see a beautiful balloon in our favorite color. And on that balloon, we're writing down all of the things that are holding us back. All of the roadblocks we put in front of ourselves. We're writing down all of those roadblocks that others put in front of us. We're writing all of that garbage down that we don't need in our lives anymore. We're writing it all down, lifting that balloon up, 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 and then releasing it. And as it floats higher and higher, we feel it pulling gently all of those things that no longer serve us, pulling them out and away, leaving that core of ourselves freer and lighter. Inhale, bring the hands overhead. Exhale, plant the hands, step back, and push right back into downward dog. I am moving forward. I am freer. I am lighter. We're going to take and bring the left leg up, and then exhale as we swing it forward. I bet you can't be as awkward as I can doing that. Coming into a low lunge on this side, again, knowing it's okay to move back into a kneeling or a hero's pose. Squaring up the shoulders, gently tucking the chin, reaching those hands up overhead and once more. And as we shift the gaze up between our hands, we see a little brown paper bag with a flickering candle in the bottom. One of those beautiful sky lanterns. And into that sky lantern, we're putting all of our hopes, all of our dreams, all of our feelings, all of our emotions, everything that we wish we could easily communicate to those near and far, but just find difficulty doing. We're putting all of that in there, lifting that lantern up, 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 and setting it free, and watching it float up, be caught by a gentle breeze, and knowing that it's taking all of that exactly to where it needs to be heard. Inhale, bring the hands back overhead. Exhale, plant the hands, step back. Pushing back into downward dog. I am doing yoga. I am putting myself first. I am okay. Inhale, look forward, hop walker, jump to the front of the mat. Inhale, halfway up. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, sweep the hands up overhead. Exhale, bring the hands down to heart center. Inhale, bring the hands up overhead. Exhale, forward fold, lead with the heart. Inhale, halfway up. Exhale, plant the hands, step back. High plank, lower down, low push up. Turn the feet over, pushing up into upward dog. Tucking the toes, pushing back into downward dog. Continuing that practice of positivity. I am a good person. I am lovable. I am loved. This time, we're going to inhale, look forward, and step through, however you want to get there, into an easy seated position. Hello, Carol. Moving in to a bit of a butterfly pose. Bring the bottoms of your feet together. Your knees may be up, your knees may be down. Remember, this is your yoga, your way. What we're looking for now is we're looking to open up our hips and release some of the anxiety, some of the stress, some of the tension that we store there. So as we've got our bottom of our feet together, I like to hold on to my ankles. Some people put their hands out in front. Whatever works for you is the way you need to do it. But I put my hands on my ankles, feel my spine straighten up, and then focus on hinging at the hips and allowing my torso to fall over my feet. And as I feel that opening in my hips, I can feel the tension and the stress flowing out and away. Then I feel myself pull, my shoulders pull to the far side of the room before I sink down just another little bit, stretching out all of those tendons in my lower back and coaxing them into giving up that tension that I've been holding on to there all day long. Inhale, slowly rise up. Now we're going to move into our first of 3 boat poses. We do that by pulling our knees up, keeping the feet flat on the mat. Sometimes you got to wiggle and get your belly out of your way like I do. Feeling yourself, your weight shifting back onto your sit bones, pulling your belly button in, focusing on continuing to breathe as we lift first 1, then maybe both feet, remembering it's okay to keep 1 foot or both feet down, whatever is right for you. But as we come into this boat pose, we feel now, again, that tremble, that shake that we experienced earlier. We begin to realize that that's the mind and the body working together to chase fear away. Right ankle over left. Deflate, deflate. Inhale, lift the seat. Exhale, set it back down and come right back into our second boat pose. And now, as we're familiar now that that's fear leaving the body, we focus on that, letting our mind and our body chase all of that anxiety, all of that fear away. Left ankle over right. Deflate, deflate. Inhale, lift the seat. Exhale, set it down and come right into our third and final boat pose, making this one the best. Feeling that heat building in your belly, burning up all that stuff that no longer serves. Feeling those trembles, feeling those shakes, feeling that fear leaving the body. Right ankle over left. Deflate, deflate. And now we're going to move into a high plank. However you get there is just fine. I do it by kind of rolling over my legs, planting my hands, and then stepping back. Always remembering that it's okay to come to your knees. It's okay to just lay on your belly during this portion if you want to. It's your yoga, your way, your choice. You're in control. Allow the heels to fall over to the right, extending the left arm up towards the ceiling. And whoa, we notice again that tremble, that shake, knowing that we're just taking control And our mind and our body are working together to chase away that fear. Coming back down into high plank, immediately over to the other side, reaching that other hand up towards the ceiling, opening the heart up. And again, feeling that fear just leaving. Exhale, come back down into high plank. Moving down onto your forearms, feeling your shoulders separating slightly before bringing your knees down, your thighs, your belly. Separating your hands, bringing one ear to the mat, and allowing your feet and toes to extend, bringing the tops of your feet into contact with the mat. And as you're lying here, as your breath begins to slow down, I invite you to begin to notice your heart beating, thump, 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 pulsing against the ground. And think about how that heart beats just for you, 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, pushing love up to the top of your head and clear down to the tips of your toes. Inhale, bring the head up and bring the other ear to the mat. And now I invite you to envision that pulsing love radiating out in concentric circles, radiating out and embracing your family. Continue to extend, encompassing your neighborhood, and maybe even reaching down into your community. Just showing love and nothing but love. We're going to take and bring the hands down to either side of the chest. And we're going to take in, as we inhale, we're going to push ourselves up into tabletop, just long enough to bring our big toes together, knees to the outside edge of the mat, sit bones back towards the heels. Again, traditionally, bring our forehead to the mat into a child's pose. I like to build my own little column, stacking one fist, stacking two fists, and then bringing the center of my forehead into contact with the top of my personal column, creating gentle pressure on that area of the forehead, sometimes known as the third eye, the think center, or the connection to the pineal gland. And beginning to feel and notice how that pressure on that connection to the pineal gland is telling your body you're safe. And it's okay to begin to slow down. And as the body begins to slow down, begin to visualize a gentle whirlpool flowing and circling around that think center, around that third eye. That whirlpool's gathering up all of the last little bits and pieces of those thoughts and ideas that no longer serve us. And right before our very eyes, we see that whirlpool going down like a bathtub drain through the center of our personal column and discharging and dissipating all of those things that no longer serve us directly into the ground, directly into the earth, leaving our mind clearer and lighter. And keeping the head bowed down, gently separate the hands, bringing the palms flat on the mat. Keeping the head tucked, begin to walk the hands slowly back towards the body, bringing yourself up, 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 rotating the shoulders back, the head up, and opening the eyes, and feeling the last little bit of the garbage you've been piling on yourself all day long slide off your shoulders, roll down your back, and leave you so much lighter. And now we're going to take in, lean over to the side. We're moving to come into, I was going to use some fancy word like supine or something like that. We're going to lay on our backs, letting ourselves roll down, keeping our knees pointed up towards the ceiling, allowing our arms to open up into a T formation, opening our heart, letting ourselves be vulnerable in our own space. Walking the feet to the edge of the mat, we're going to begin to take in, work out any of that last tension we're holding on to in our lower back. So as we exhale, we're going to allow the knees to slowly fall to the right. And then as we inhale, they're slowly going to come back up. Exhale, allow them to fall to the, I wonder who's calling me now. I'm not going to answer it. Inhale, bring the knees back up towards the ceiling. Exhale, allow them to slowly fall over to the right. Inhale, bring the knees slowly back up. Exhale, allow them to fall to the left. And as we inhale and bring them back up, we'll just say, I apologize for that unexpected phone call, but knowing that nothing's ever perfect. We just practice with exactly where we're at. And sometimes it's even more important to practice when it's difficult. And just continue to move forward and try to invite a little bit of peace into our own lives. So then we're going to move into our final position, Shavasana. Extending the legs, letting the feet be about a foot or so apart, allowing the feet to splay open. You can keep your arms out wide, exposing your heart, or you can bring them down to the sides, palms up, palms down. It doesn't really matter. If you choose to roll over and lay on your side in fetal position, that can sometimes be so comforting. Maybe you need to lay on your belly tonight. You know what? Listen to your body and do what's right for you. And as we begin this process of Shavasana, also known as guided meditation, begin to visualize yourself sinking down, down, down into the mat, feeling and noticing every place you're in contact with that mat, feeling the backs of your arms sinking down, feeling your hands just being absorbed into the earth. You feel yourself just releasing and letting go. And as you're letting go, you begin to see a beautiful ball of light approaching from above, sinking slowly towards your forehead. And as it makes contact with your forehead, you feel a tingling, an awareness as that light pushes in, illuminating all of the dark corners in your mind. That light continues to roll in, and then it begins to roll down through your sinuses. As it creeps into your jaw, you feel your jaw go slack, your tongue resting heavily against the back of your teeth. And as that light rolls down into your chest, you feel it just releasing the last of the rubber bands that you've wrapped around your chest all day. Letting your breath flow in easier and flow out easier. As that light rolls down through your belly, it picks up and absorbs any last little pieces of stress or tension that you've stored there all day. That ball of light rolls down through your pelvis, and you feel the front of your thighs begin to tingle with the energy it's carrying with it. As that light continues to roll down through your calves, you feel the bottom of your feet tingle as that light begins to push out, carrying with it all of the things that no longer serve you, leaving you lighter and more at ease. As you're lying here in this sense of ease, I ask you to hear these words and repeat them silently to yourself. May I be happy. May I be healthy. May I be secure. May my family be happy. May my family be healthy. May my family be secure. May my community be happy. May my community be healthy. May my community be secure. May the whole world find safety, security, happiness, and health. As we begin to move back into conscious movement, I ask you to join with me, wiggling your fingers, wiggling your toes, rotating your wrists and your ankles, and then bringing your hands into your chest before extending those hands up towards the ceiling, spreading your fingers, wiggling those fingers, pulling your knees into your chest, and then wrapping yourself in a well-deserved hug. Rocking gently from side to side to massage your lower back, and then allowing yourself to fall over onto one side into a fetal position, pillowing your head on your lower bicep, bringing your upper hand solidly into contact with the ground, noticing one last time that support that's always waiting for you. And then keeping your eyes closed in order to hold on to this sense of safety and ease that you have gifted yourself. Use your upper hand to push yourself up into an easy seated position, or whatever works for you. I invite you to join me, bringing your hands together at heart center, thumb pressed gently into your sternum, and then allowing the head to bow down to the ultimate ruler. I ask you to hear these words and know them to be as true about you as they are about me. I am whole. I am worthy of giving and receiving love. I am complete. This beautiful light within my heart sees, recognizes, and acknowledges that same light within each and every one of you. Thank you so much for sharing practice with me today. Namaste. Thank you all so very much. I really appreciate you joining me today. I hope to see you next week.